Hey queens, thanks for joining my channel. So I'm excited to show you how to do an overdue fill and explain some information along the way just about overdue fills and the lash cycle. So I'm going to start by covering my bottom lashes, making sure that they're all covered. There's some at the top there that are sticking up because she's got shorter bottom lashes. I find that. So I'm using a silicone tape to cover them. Holds them in place, and then when you're peeling off the silicone tape, it doesn't rip like the regular medical tape, and there's no fuzzies. Notice how I didn't touch the skin that's on the base of her bottom lashes. It's called the interior margin. You don't want to touch that area because the tape and iPad can slip up and bruise her eyeball, leaving red marks. And it's not cute. So I turned on the light once her eyes were closed. And I'm going to apply my primer. And just make sure that I've got all the lashes pretty soaked with the primer. Look at that growth. That is a 4-week fill. Well, overdue fill. Because this is not a fill, ladies. This is something that you're going to have to charge an overdue fill for, or a full set in my case. What I do typically is if a client is past 3 weeks, I will charge an additional $20 because the cost of products and my time. And if it's past 4 weeks, well, 4 weeks or past, it's a full set automatically. So this client had no problem paying for a full set. She's a regular client and she's been coming for 9 years. She comes usually every 2 to 3 weeks, but her schedule got really busy and she didn't even think about it. And that happens sometimes, so it's not always everyone's fault when they're forgetting to get regular fills. But make sure that if it does become a habit with some clients, that you inform them that they can't be paying a fill price when it's a full set. And I can't dread this enough, but I've had some clients argue with me, and this is even before coming for their appointment, trying to book after a 7-week fill, saying that it's a fill, or sorry, I called it a 7-week fill again, but it's a full set. And I say this with love to them, and I just kindly tell them, you know, your lashes grow out, so after 3 weeks, it's not a fill anymore. And they might not notice, especially if their lashes don't grow very fast. Like some girls don't. Some people just have thinner hair, and it all depends on your health. And some girls, their lashes are growing so long after 2 weeks, like 2-week fills, because they're probably really healthy and they could be taking supplements that help with that. And there's just so many factors, just genes in general. But she didn't have very many outgrown ones. She didn't have very many left. So it didn't take me long to remove her outgrown ones. And now I'm just replacing all the lashes, basically all of them, because she had probably about 20% of the lashes still on after I was done removing the outgrown ones. I would say the client should have at least 40 to 50% of the lash extensions still on in order to qualify for a fill. If a client comes to you even after a week, coming for a touch-up and expecting you to do half the price, I would not do that. Maybe give $10 off, but if somebody regularly wants to come every week, there's some factors that you need to look into with this client, unless it's more than one client or two, but it's rare. It would be a retention issue on your behalf if you have all kinds of clients wanting to come for touch-ups after a week, and that's not good, like especially time-wise, and it just probably means that you need to work on your retention. And I know sometimes people could have trouble with that, but the wrapping technique I do swear by. Making sure the lashes are clean, of course, applying them properly, 1/2 millimeter to a full millimeter away from the lash line. I couldn't say that. Because if it's too far down on the lash, it's not gonna hold up either, and it could put weight and strain on the lash as well. Also, you need a humidifier for the glue because it should be set to a certain temperature. Like mine is always at 45, 50, no higher than 50. And it depends on the glue you have as well. Some of them work differently with humidifiers, but the lash cycle. So you need to explain to your clients. Some of them think that the lashes are just the lashes and that they don't grow out. Especially newer clients, they don't know this, but you kind of need to explain to them the same way that their nails grow out is the same way lashes do, but lashes do shed, and there's the 3-phase growth cycle. With the baby hairs, which are the anagen, those are in an active growth cycle. So every 30 to 45 days, I would say, they're coming in. And then there's catagen, which is in the transition resting period. It's like a 2 to 3 weeks cycle. Those are your medium ones. Those ones are the strongest, most best lashes, but they do take the longest to come in if they get pulled out. And then roughly 35, maybe to 45% of the upper lashes are in the growth phase at once. And I mean, with the entire cycle taking 4 to 12 months to complete. And those telogen ones are the longest, and I'm telling you, those nice long ones that look beautiful just might shed after you put a lash on. So you need to explain this to your clients because a lot of them don't understand this, and you just don't want anyone taking advantage of you and trying to book a fill when you know that it's a full set. So always look at your schedule and see when these clients came to you last to determine, and let them know before their appointment what they're expecting, just so they can get the finances right and whatever they have to do. And tell them it's going to take me 2 hours instead of an hour to an hour and a half to do your fill today. So I'm just checking through my work right now and making sure I filled in every single lash, as you should, because you want them to last as long as possible. And then brushing and making sure that nothing's falling off. And they're complete. So I did size 8 to 12, and they are C-curl volume lashes. She's beautiful. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to see more. Bye, and see you soon.